Hello, and a warm welcome to everyone. My name is Alexander Türcke. I'm the product manager for products and projects 3D here at Assyst. And today I'm going to show you the new features of Style3D Studio version 6.1. In the chat, Bettina Peichl will answer your questions. She is the senior pre-sales consultant here at Assyst. So what's on the agenda for today? First, I will unveil the most powerful additions to our new features, the new real-time ray trace renderer, followed by the new AI tools. This set of tools that will streamline your design process, help you visualize endless design options, and visualize your creative vision with unprecedented ease with the power of artificial intelligence. And afterwards, my pleasure will be to introduce even more new features, including the new 3D 2D Connect, which brings seamless integration with Assyst CAD. At the end, we have a little time for a Q&A session. If you have questions, please post them directly into the chat or send them to webinar@assyst.de. So let's get started with a little overview of the new features. So I hope that was very entertaining for you. Each time I see this video, I'm amazed how many new cool features we have in this release. So let's start with a completely new real-time ray trace render engine. This is one of the major updates we have for you. In Style3D Studio, we added a completely newly developed renderer that is using the ray tracing technology. What is ray tracing? In simple words, it simulates light in the same way it behaves in the real world. It traces the path of light from each pixel in the scene, taking into account the objects it encounters. The results are truly stunning, fast and incredibly realistic visuals that enhance your designs without compromising on performance, but with amazing speed. If you compare the two renderings, you can see that there is nearly no visual difference between the two renderings. On the left side, you see the offline renderer, as you may already know it, and on the right side, we have the new ray tracing real-time render engine. And if you compare those pictures, this is very close, very, very close. But that's not all. The whole rendering engine has been improved. So even the normal real-time renderer shows better results if you compare these two, as you can see here on the left two images. But the true magic happens in the new ray-traced real-time renderer, which delivers amazingly realistic results in a fraction of the render time of the offline renderer. As you can see in the two images on the right, the ray-traced real-time rendering result is visually very similar to the offline renderer, but it's calculated 10 times faster. Now, let's see the new renderer in action. Here, you can see the true power of the new ray-traced renderer. On the left side, we have the current offline renderer, as you already may know it. And on the right side, in direct comparison, you can see the new 10 times faster real-time ray-traced renderer. It delivers nearly the same image quality, but again, it's 10 times faster. Amazing. So you have a very accurate preview of what you will get as a final result within seconds, which drastically reduces your correction times. Well, where do you find this new render option? For easy access, we move the simulation and the rendering settings directly into the 3D viewport. In the new pull-down menu, you can choose between the new rendering methods depending on your needs. To demonstrate the capabilities of the new renderer, we prepared a short video so you can see how similar the ray traced renderer is to the final results of the offline renderer and how much faster the real-time ray trace renderer is in direct comparison. Again, on the left side, you see the current offline renderer, and on the right side, you see the new ray trace real-time render engine. Now, let's come to the improved unified lighting system. Until now, we had two separate light setups, one for the real-time renderer and one for the offline renderer. Now you can activate the new material and lighting system and merge the two light setups into one unified light setup. This reduces the setup and maintenance time of your light setups drastically. Merging the two light setups into one single light setup was possible because the new render engine now supports all the light types of the offline renderer. So there's no more need for two separate light setups with different capabilities. The new material system improves the representation of normal maps, which leads to more accurate reflections and highlights, as you can see in the images. The highlights and reflections are much more crisp here and have a we get a much better result. In direct comparison with the offline renderer, materials look nearly the same with the new ray tracing renderer. So you have a much faster preview of the final result, and that is shortening your correction phase. This is real. What you see is what you get. With the better rendering capabilities, you can also evaluate your garment much better than before. As you can see, the new ray tracing renderer shows the wrinkles more accurately because of the improved shadow calculations. Again, the optical appearance is almost identical with the offline renderer. The new ray tracing render engine is even capable of rendering animations in minutes instead of hours. With the new translucency render mode, you can improve the visualization of garments that have transparency with several layers. The calculations take a little more render time due to the higher accuracy, but as you can see, the several layers of the transparent garment are now rendered correctly. This is a very useful improvement when you are working with transparent garments. To make your creations shine, we also developed new ready-to-use light setups that you can simply select and use. I will show you three of them and their special capabilities. This light setup, for example, is optimized for creations with glossy materials. And this light setup is optimized for darker garments. All these new light setups can be found in the light library. And lights now support scaling, so you can adjust your reflections and highlights more accurately. By the way, if you have questions, please type them into the chat. We will answer them live or later in the Q&A section. Or you can send us an email to webinar@assyst.de. You can find this email address in the description of the video as well. And now I'm really excited to present our latest development to you, AICG, or Artificial Intelligence Content Generation. With the new AI Snapshot function, you can replace the 3D avatar during the render time with an AI-generated photorealistic avatar. The image on the left shows your avatar in the 3D viewport as you already know it. Now you start the new AI snapshot function and you give the AI a reference picture like the one in the middle. And the AI swaps your avatar face with an AI generated version of your reference picture like the one on the right side. And now I have a look at these amazing results. This is truly photorealistic. I really like this feature. You can choose any reference picture you like, and the AI will deliver such amazing results. And we had very much fun using some VIPs and film stars as a reference image. Try it out. You will be amazed. There are three new ways to get an AI snapshot result. Here you can see the first option, generated with the characteristics of the avatar. Here, the AI tries to convert your existing avatar, your 3D avatar, into a more beautiful representation. No reference image is needed here. And for the second method, you upload a reference picture of the person you want to mimic, and the AI will swap your avatar face with the AI-generated version of your reference person. If you have no reference picture at hand, we deliver 13 preset avatar templates as a third generation option that you can instantly use. You can find the new AI snapshot feature at the bottom of the 3D snapshot dialog. Simply choose your selected method of image generation, and the AI will work its magic in the cloud and deliver the results. Now, how about bringing movement and life to your creations? Our groundbreaking AI posing tool takes pose information from a photograph and automatically converts it into a pose preset within Style3D Studio. No more painstaking adjustments or guesswork. It's just as simple as selecting a photograph. All you have to do is adjust the garment position after the creation, start the simulation again to make it fit perfectly, and you're done. But the enhancements don't stop here. Your creativity is no longer bound by manual inputs. With iCreate, Style3D Studio can now bring your ideas to life. Just enter a text description here in the upper right corner in the text field what you want to be generated, and the AI will create you a variety of ideas that will enhance your creativity limitless. The AI can even merge two styles to create something absolutely new. Just upload your idea and watch as the AI transforms it into new stunning design concepts. For example, a beige jacket. As a result, you get four variants of the same jacket to enhance your ideas. So now we come to the export concerning the export to other 3D applications. We improved the UV editor, and I would like to show you these improvements. We added text to the main menu icons for easy access. In addition, we added three new baking map settings: arrange 3D trim, show effective quadrants, and bake the transparency map. And the first option, arrange 3D trim, will do the following. It will merge the textures of accessories into the fabric textures, as you can see here on the right. So everything is combined into one texture. The second option, show effective quadrants, is a useful tool to indicate that pieces are not positioned within the quadrant, so you don't miss any pieces anymore during export. This feature is enabled by default. And the third option, bake transparency map, merges the transparency map into the texture map, so you have one unified file that contains both informations. Again, these are export options for other 3D packages. And now I will show you the updates in the craft capabilities of Studio 6.1. First of all, the new version provides a second type of a two-way zipper. This type will not open from the outer edges of the clothing, but from the center. It is very useful for development of bags and luggage items. And the former two-way zipper has now been renamed to X-type zipper, and the new type is called O-type. Next, there's a new function to attach a pattern to another one to create realistic patches in one go. The patch area receives extra thickness and it inherits the physical properties of the underlying piece, so it moves perfectly together with the underlying piece when it's in motion. And as you can see, the new function allows to place a pattern on another one without stitching. The fabric texture of the patch will be maintained and it can be adjusted independently. The patch will inherit the physical properties. So the, the movement will be adapted. Another very useful enhancement has been developed for top stitches. There is a new option offset for top stitches, which allows you to provide seamless transitions of top stitches from pattern to pattern. Top stitches on, for example, complete armholes become much more realistic because you now can adjust it more easily. Or if you use top stitches to mimic a chain, you can truly hook the end optimally to the 3D trim. With our next feature, you can easily deal with graphics over the seam line between two patterns. With a simple check of the new option over seam line in the properties editor, you will receive a beautiful result even if the two pieces don't have complementary contours. So you do not have to align them manually anymore. A huge time saver. Now I can show you a new feature that applies to clothing created with filling, like puffer jackets or coats. Fillings now have a weight and affect the simulation. And you can assign the appropriate weight to the filler, which improves the realistic result of the garment simulation later on. The next new feature provides the option to export the 2D pattern in PDF. You also have the choice to export vector paths for printing and cutting purposes. The last new feature in this part is a very nice new option for seams. We now have an option for folded seams on one side, flat seam one side, is it called? This creates a different seam angle on the selected side of the seam and mimics nicely the extra thickness of the folded sewing type. Have a look at these. These are looking perfect now. Again, a reminder, if you have questions, please post them into the chat or send us an email to webinar@assyst.de. And at the end of the presentation, we will be happy to answer your questions. But now let me introduce you another highlight of the version 6.1. The new collaboration between Style3D Studio and Assyst CAD, which is called 3D 2D Connect. What is 3D 2D Connect? It creates a totally seamless synchronous connection between the Style3D ecosystem and the Assyst 2D CAD world. Instead of importing and exporting the XF files several times and start from scratch each time something is changed. You now simply push your project from 2D CAD to Studio and vice versa. In this example, you see a connected project that is freely modified by a designer in Studio. No matter if you assign fabrics and graphics or rework the style shape, as you can see here, the connection to Assyst CAD will be maintained. The system is then pushed to Assyst CAD. Once the connection has been updated, the pattern maker will be able to enrich the designer's modification with production-ready information, for example, like proper grading. Or a new pattern can be auto-created directly, including the proper grading, and pushed to 3D, where it can be inserted into the 3D garment. Here you can see the newly created pattern. 3D 2D Connect enables a very efficient forth and back collaboration between the creative and the technical team. A huge benefit is that you will no longer be losing the typical assets like grading, notches, or seam allowance in 2D, or in 3D, the information of sewing, fabrics, symmetry pieces, arrangement, etc. All these assets are preserved during the transfer between the two applications. After watching the example, you might think that 3D 2D Connect could restrict designers in freely evolving creative visions, but the opposite is the truth. Designers can still work independently without bothering about technical details as before. Designers will only use 3D Studio. After the designer finished the work, the project file will be handed over to a technical person in charge of the connection who will update the connection. After the designer finished the work, this employee will use both Style3D Studio and Assyst CAD. The added value is that unlimited creativity and meeting the technical requirements for production can be now unified in your organization. Now let's have a look at the new avatar tools. To achieve always nicely shaped avatars, our basic philosophy in Style3D is that the avatar's measurements change proportionally. Now the adjustments of the avatar's measurements has been improved by implementing locks or for the base measurements like height and chest. The locked values will not change during manipulation of other values anymore. Therefore, you can now adjust the avatar's proportions more accurately. For the female chest and underbust proportion, you now also have the option to choose from different measurement combinations. The lower circumference cup, bust circumference cup, and bust circumference, including European bra sizes A to G. In addition, we now have a nice, more lightweight display of the measurement values in the 3D viewport. Only the selected measurement will now be highlighted and displayed, and also the visibility of the values of the avatar has been enhanced by adding a gray background. Our next part will be about the new features around the interaction in Style3D Studio. First, the design of the interface has been optimized in the 2D and 3D viewport. This will probably be the first thing you will discover after updating Style3D Studio on your computer. We now have horizontal floating bars with labeled groups and drop-down menus. This creates a much cleaner and clearer display, and now there is enough space to add even more display options in the future. Also, the software interface is now compatible with the common display sizes with different resolutions. So you can obtain the best software experience with different user environments. We also now support pen tablets, which is super nice for casual design creations. And now we have two new fitting analysis tools. The first is the body pressure map, which shows the effect of tight clothing to the body. And the second one is the new display of the thermal insulation of a garment. And this helps you to evaluate the isolation of the clothing. As for all the other fitting maps, you can set the values for the display according to your conditions. And next, we will show you the new features in the colorways. We have some very useful improvements in the colorways function for you. On the left part of the window, we now have a fixed column for the types of assets. And these groups can also be collapsed. So you can now concentrate on what you are currently working on. At the top of the list, you now find the complete list of all the colors in use. And that makes the adjustment of colors much more convenient because it's now in one place. In addition, you can now link single colors to all colorways. For example, to lock the same zipper color in all colorways. And on top here, there are three new options in the colorways editor to adjust the size of the preview images, to rearrange the colorway sequence easily by drag and drop, and to switch to a list mode for easy focus on the color adjustment of all materials. So We believe that these new features will open up a vast creativity possibilities and that they are making your design experience more fluid, dynamic, and real than ever. We can't wait to see the remarkable designs you conjure up using Style3D. So thank you, and let's step into the future of design together. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. We still have a few minutes left, I guess, and I will have a look in the chat. Maybe I can answer some of them too. Yes, you can. Angelica asked, wow, can I place the AI model in the background? Yes, you can. Um, you can use the 3D background, the scene, of course, and you can render it on transparency as well. So you can composite it in Photoshop or another software to onto any background you would like. Um, so these are your options. Yeah, the AI changing face is amazing. We had so much fun using this. You have to try this. This is stunning. Um, you can, yeah, you can use any photo of a pose. Um, the better it will be, there will be better results if you choose a background that is unified. So on a white wall or something like this, so the AI can more easily recognize the pose. But yes, you can try um, any pose, any photo. Yes, the AI feature is open for all. For all, it needs Style3D 6.1, and of course, you need the AI web because the AI is calculating um, the replacement of the avatar in the cloud. CGR is asking, um, can the 3D 2D Connect be operated by one person only, or can we have the pattern creator and then sharing the Connect file? Um, yes, of course. You can have both applications running uh, on both workstations. So, do you have any more questions? Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So, if you don't have any more questions, what completely maybe the printing plotters is a question we will probably ask afterwards. Tres, could you please send an email to webinar at assist.de and you will get a proper answer for this. Yes, we have a credit system because the calculations of the AI requires some remarkable computing power, and several computers are calculating in the cloud your result, and so we have a credit system integrated. Um, Alessia, if you leave us our email address, just send an email. We can explain it more deeply to you. Maybe just an information, for example, what are the prerequisites for the new renderer? Well, you need an RTX graphics card for this. The R in RTX is for ray traced shader units on the GPU. So you need an RTX graphics cards to have access to the new real-time ray traced renderer. Raju, are these compatible in iPad? Maybe there's a little misunderstanding. Um, the pads we have shown that that you can now use pen tablets. That doesn't mean that there's an iPad app right now, but we refer to pen tablets like the ones from Wacom, for example. There you have a pen and you are writing and painting directly on a monitor surface, but this is not an iPad as you know it, because that would require it to be an iPad app, and that's not possible. So we are referring when we are talking about pen tablet support. It's about some Wacom stuff, for example. Yeah. So if you have any more questions after this, I would like to close the chat right now. And I would say thank you very much for your attention. It was a pleasure to show you all these new features, and I hope you had a great time. And again, if you still have questions, please use our email address you can find in the description below. Um, and then I would say thank you, everyone. Have a nice day, and bye bye.